How you doing, Pioneer? This is MJKK 613.14. Coming back at you again. Pi through my eyes, unofficial. Um, and I think I'm gonna try coming at a little bit different angle tonight, or a little bit different angle on this video. Comparing, not really comparing, but comparing Pi to what's out on the market now. And that includes Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever's out there. Because whatever's out there on the market today is all pretty much all the same thing. It's doing the same thing. I mean, it's trading the same way. Not saying that there aren't places that are accepting it and whatever, but they're minimal. They're minimal. The bulk of what happens with crypto today is all on the exchange. It's trading whatever token, coin, whatever it is, and trading it to turn it into something else. That's what the space is. Where Pi, right now, that isn't the direction Pi is looking to go. Has never looked to go that direction. So that's going to be the starting of the foundation of whatever. Okay, Pi is not looking to get its lifeblood off of the exchange. It's not looking to get a tradable price, to turn Pi into something else. Pi is looking to be the money to use to buy stuff, which that sets the stage right there. I mean, that sets it off right there from the beginning. And I know people don't see it because it's crypto. You put the word crypto in it, it's all going to do the same. That's not true. That's not true. Okay. I mean, let's start with where we need to start where Pi's at now, or where it launched in 2019. Okay. When crypto today, the projects that are out today, when they launch, they're ready to go public. And usually they do an initial coin offering or airdrop or something when they're getting ready to go public. Well, when Core launched Pi in 2019, it didn't launch to the public. It launched a project in development. Yeah. When Pi launched Core, or when Core launched Pi in March of 2019, there was basically nothing. I mean, there was very little. They had an app that had chat rooms in it. That's about where it started from. So, when Core launched Pi, they launched it. I mean, they launched their development of the project and see, we're not public. We're not the public. Even though Pi is as big as it is, and there's invitations that you can find all over the place, and the members of Pi have swamped every social media and whatever it is, but Pi is really technically not public yet. It's a project in development that pioneers and community members have all been invited to a private project. The only way you can get into Pi, to mine Pi, or earn Pi, is through an invitation code. You have to use an invitation code to get into the community, to get into the app. Okay, that starts to separate right there. Because I don't know of any other project out today that's on the market that has launched while they were still in development. While they were building community as they're developing. I don't know of any other project that has started out this way. So that should already start to set the stage that Pi is different than what is out. And yes, we've grown. The Pi community has grown quick. 25 million plus people in 2.5 years. 2 years, it's under 3 years. We've gotten to 25 million people. 25 million pioneers. Now and there's probably been more than that. Because as people are coming in, people are stopping. Because they're not understanding where Pi is. They're not understanding where Pi is at in development. They're not understanding what our job is. But that's irrelevant, okay? So, by current count that Core's put out, we're at 25 million plus. And over time, when these other projects have launched, they have run some kind of ICO, IEO, airdrops, whatever. Usually, it's in the early days, it was an ICO, initial coin offering, to raise capital, to raise funds, to fund the project, so we can keep going. And yes, there was a lot of bad stuff going on, and scams, and all. That's where all the scams and all the stuff came. Anyway, that's not what we're looking at here. So, when the projects are out now, when they launch, they ran their initial coin offering, they raised capital, they did whatever, they got onto the exchange, and at the time, you still have to jump through hoops to get listed on the exchange, or you have to jump through hoops to run your IEO through an exchange. Okay? And every coin that has run an ICO or an IEO has done it. They paid their money. They jumped through the hoops and they got listed, whatever it is. Pi is not going that direction. Pi is not entertaining. Pi does not have an IEO planned or an ICO planned. They're not doing any airdrops. They're not doing none of that. They're not doing anything through the exchange. They're not the core and the community chose a different way to capitalize Pi, to fund Pi to the completion. Yeah. We'll get that, but that sets it apart. Okay, so if there is no initial coin offering there is no initial coin offering in Pi. There will never be an initial coin offering. There isn't one planned. There's never been one planned. Should be setting. Okay, wait a minute. Pi is not following the path that all the other coins have taken. All the other tokens have taken. Pi is not following that path. And it should start to be pretty evident just by what little bit we're talking about right here. Okay, Pi is still in development. It launched phase 1. Pi is a 3-phase project. It launched phase 1 March of 2019. It went phase 2 March of 2020. So I consider the way, and I may be wrong at the way I look at it, but as long as Pi is in phases 1 and 2, and it's running off of a faucet, an emulator. There's been a lot of talk and whatever about whether Pi's running on an emulator and whatever. Okay. When I first got here, that's what was told to me. Pi was running on an emulator. And that's how the coins are being accumulated. Okay. Since then, I'm learning more. Okay. Pi didn't have from the best of my ability, the best of my knowledge, Pi did not have a testnet blockchain running March of 2020. The testnet blockchain didn't start till way later in that year. Way later in the year. So, up until that point, there was no blockchain. There was no blockchain. Well, if there's no blockchain, and we're accumulating coins, and the network is developing, the app is developing, it's not apples and oranges. So these projects are launched to the public. They're doing their trading and they're doing whatever. As soon as they hit the market, as soon as they are introduced to the public, they are trading on the exchanges. They are trading back and forth. They're doing with the public. Pi has not reached the public yet. Pi is developing its programming, its protocol. It's still developing. We are getting close to going public, but we haven't introduced to the public yet. The public is anybody outside the community. The public is outside the community. Okay? And in the time, all of the development that is going on with all these other projects has happened behind closed doors. They built the protocol, they built the blockchain, they built whatever they built and we're lacking community. Okay, that's what they didn't disperse or dispense or distribute any of their coins or tokens while they were in development. They waited till they got to launching to the public. They run an ICO. That brings funds in, capital in, but it distributes the tokens out. And depending on how well the ICO and stuff goes, that's the distribution of the coin or token. Yes, other projects have tried other ways coming up. Electroneum, Q. I don't know what any recent one because I haven't stayed with it. But those were the two big ones when I came in. They were trying different things to distribute, and well, they were launched to the public. They were publicly, but they weren't trading yet. They were still distributing. Put it that way. But they were in those projects in Pi are still night and day, because like Electroneum is staking, and Q I think is staking. Okay, they're a staking app, and yes, they had things you can do with it and stuff like that, but it was minimal, and I don't know how they're doing now. I don't know how they're doing. Okay, Pi has still continued. It's outpaced both of them. It's outgrown both of them, leaps and bounds, and we're still not to the point of going public. So the way Core and Pi has gone about things, Pi is 25 million plus in the community in 236 countries around the world, and Pi has been distributing this coin. Core Pi, it's been distributing since launch of March of 2019. That means the distribution of Pi, even though it's on a counter and whatever it is in the hands of 225 million people in 236 countries. I don't know of any other project that has accomplished that or has approached it that way. If there is, let me know. I would be interested to know if there's any projects that have done what Pi has accomplished right now, or what Core has accomplished right now. So, Pi doesn't need to run an ICO. Its coins are being distributed already. Yeah, and I'm listening to all these crypto guys and experts, even inside the community, about Pi supply is too big, and Pi, circulating supply is too big, and we've mined too many already, and we need to stop mining. We need to do all that. No, that's thinking. That's thinking of the projects today, because that's how they are designed. That's how they operate. They're real big on scarcity. You got to have scarcity. Okay, I'm not going to argue that. I'm not for the way they trade and what they do. You need scarcity. And I was watching a documentary yesterday, I think it was, on money, like the history of money and how money came back. And scarcity is one of their big, for money, it's got to be scarce, which I don't totally agree with today. Now, back in the, at the turn of AD, BC and AD, and coming up that way, and even in the 14, 15, 1600s, maybe. Okay. Just because of where things were in society and all that. Today, scarcity is a joke, man. It's an illusion. You can't tell me that the American dollar is scarce. There's too many out there. And to say gold is scarce, they've been mining gold since way back. 4000 BC. They've been pulling gold out of the ground, and it hasn't slowed down to this day. All through history, every civilization has had gold. Now they valued it in different ways, but they have all had gold. You hear like the when the Spanish came over, they were looking for a city of gold and all. Okay. I'm not saying that it's not. I'm not saying that there's not a limited supply, but to say it's scarce, you can go buy gold on any street corner you want. You can go any mall you go into. There's going to be a couple of jewelry shops in there, and you can buy gold. You can buy gold. You can buy wrist bracelets, necklaces, whatever. You can buy silver in the same way. So now trading it in the bullions market, yeah, it might be a little different story. But okay, so scarcity is an illusion, and it's needed for the way crypto trades today. That illusion needs to happen because that's what fuels what the coins do, what crypto does on the markets. And crypto needs that volatility in the markets to be able to turn it into other money and make money. And that's what everybody in the 12 years or 13 years that crypto has been out and around, that's what the space has become. Yeah. What other real avenues does it have? What other real avenues, venues does it have in the quantity it needs to do what it should do? Yeah, you got a few places, and yeah, the list is long, and people are coming in and out all the time. I mean, people that are accepting it finally give up and stop accepting it, and new people are starting to take. That list changes daily. Yeah, and it's a fairly long list. I won't argue that, but it's not doing enough business trading volume that way to really count as anything. Crypto lives on the exchanges. It needs a scarcity on the exchanges to fuel the swings. Because if it's not moving, it's not making money. Well, see, Pi's not even looking to go that direction. It's not even thinking about going that direction. It has never thought about going that direction. And if you look at the way Pi is structured, Pi is looking to become the money. Pi is looking to become money. Usable money. Daily usable money. That's been Pi's goal all along. To be a currency. To be a form of payment that we can use inside the community. Pi, the ecosystem and everything that's being built for Pi is inside the community. All of the mention of stuff outside and all of this and all that has not come from core or the white paper. It's come from the expectation of pioneers coming in, people coming in with that expectation. People coming in, seeing Pi the way they want to see it. They're not seeing Pi the way Pi is. Because they're filtered with what crypto has done. I mean, yes, there are a lot of people that know crypto. There are a lot of people that don't know crypto. There are a lot of people that have listened to it and think they know crypto. Coming in, there's a diverse community inside of Pi. It all levels, all everything. I mean, I just got because I went off on a different tangent with the talent that's in Pi and the closed-minded that's in Pi. Yeah, there is a lot of wasted talent in Pi. A lot of wasted talent. Because they're not taking the time to see Pi. They're seeing Pi through how they view crypto. They can't see the forest for the trees. Yeah. I mean, talking to them is like talking to a brick wall. Because there's a lack of respect there, I think. Because they're not respecting what is being said inside. The official information inside. They're not buying it, they're not believing it, they're not respecting the people that are putting it out. And at the same time, the people in Pi that know Pi and have contact with, yes, there may be little tweaks here and there, but we know we're Pi, so we're not even listening to you. We're not listening to you anymore because you're not putting out correct information. And that's kind of what set me today was, we'll put this out right now. Any numbers, anything you hear, any kind of numbers, supply, total supply, cash circulating supply, price, value, any of that that's put out today needs to be treated as bad, false, incorrect information. When you hear it, the first thing you should do, no, that's not right. It's because it is. It's bad, false, incorrect information, leading you the wrong way, leading people the wrong way. Yes, yeah, because it hit me today, going through this deal that I did or was involved in or whatever. Somebody's been around a while. In senior chat, came in, and it was like, eureka! They figured out pi total supply. And it started out, but it got bad by the, throughout the day. It just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And it kind of hit me at the end. Doesn't matter, and I will put, even for me, if I'm putting out numbers without clarifying where I'm putting out, or disclaiming what I'm putting out, it should be treated as bad, false, incorrect information, no matter who puts it out. If they don't clarify why they're putting those numbers out, what those numbers are, if they don't clarify it, then treat it as unofficial information, no matter where it comes from, unless it comes from court team only. Yeah, it hit me today. Because, we've been struggling with this for a couple of years. People come in, they'll go search an unofficial site. They'll come up with unofficial numbers. They'll go to locations that they're familiar with from the space, and they'll find numbers, and they'll come into Pi, and they'll be pushing those numbers. And the people that are believing that, that's what they can see, and that's what they jump right on it. That's what it is. And no, that's not what it is. If it didn't come from an official Pi site, if it didn't come from core, then it needs to be treated as bad, incorrect, false information. Mm-hmm. And then go into like the officials and find out. Treat it as bad information, and then prove it right. Because I'm going to tell you, probably 99% of the time, it's going to be proved wrong. Yeah. Just from a few things that I've gone through personally in Pi here lately. Yeah. 99% of the information, those kind of things, are going to be wrong. It's going to be bad information, and you're not going to be able to go search an official site and find that information anywhere because it's not there. It didn't come from court. So, it's time to keep that in mind. It's time to start dealing with it, because these coins have been out 5, 6, 10, 12 years. So they've had that amount of time to grow. They've had that amount of time to do whatever they're doing today. And the people in space today, and the public, and whoever's coming into Pi, is expecting Pi to be where those coins are at. Pi is not where... Pi is... The testnet blockchain didn't start till... like the end of last year. I think it was like October, November, is when the testnet blockchain started. So Pi doesn't even have an official blockchain started yet. It's still in its testnet. Now, when I get back, I view Pi being in phases 1 and 2 out of the 3-phase project. As long as Pi is in phase 1 and 2, and that counter is still rolling at the top of the page, then we are in beta. We are in beta development. Yeah. Because these are the phases that, if something is going to go wrong, now's the time for it to go wrong. If something needs to be corrected or fixed or whatever it is, this is where it happens. Because once Pi does launch phase 3, and it's live, there can be no mistakes. Once it's live and the protocol is running Pi, okay, there can be no mistakes. And one of the issues, again, reading the white paper states that in phases 1 and 2, Pi will be centralized. It'll be centralized. There is no reason for transparency in those phases. In phases 1 and 2, there is no reason for transparency. I don't care what anybody says, because it's still developing. It doesn't have to account for anything. It doesn't have to account to anybody. It doesn't have to be open source, because it's still developing. Yes. Because in the way, when we go phase 3, when we go phase 3, and Pi doesn't become decentralized, doesn't become transparent, doesn't become open source, that's when you complain about it. That's when you bring it to the attention. Oh, and I'll get on the bandwagon with you. Yeah. But I don't. Core has delivered everything that they've said so far. Everything that they've put out, they have delivered. So I'm not worried about them delivering the transparency, the decentralization, the open source. No. It'll be there in phase 3. When Pi goes live, phase 3, it'll be there. So, to this point, it doesn't match anything that's going on. It's not even resembling anything that's going on. The people in the community are trying to force it to do what it's not designed to do. And because Pi's goal is to be a usable daily currency, that to be reachable to everyone. Everyone. To be reachable to everyone, to me, means to be reachable to 7.5 billion people. 7.5 billion people should be able to reach Pi. That's everyone. Okay. If you look at, you look at Bitcoin and you look at Ethereum, those are the top two. Both of them are out of reach to the everyday people. The average person cannot afford to buy Bitcoin or Ethereum. It's too costly. Okay. And so, that's not Pi design. Pi design is to be reached by everybody, to be usable by everybody, to be stable. Well, those words right there are totally cut from what's going on today. Because what's going on today is not reachable, it's not stable, okay? It's not really usable in daily business transactions. Apples and oranges. That sets Pi. Just in that little bit, if you don't see that sets Pi apart, then I don't know what to tell you except either take the blinders off, learn to see Pi, or stay where you're at, but shut up. Just be quiet. Be quiet. Yes, because your opinions are not offering anything positive to Pi. They're not. You're toxic and you're offering negativities to Pi. And cancer breeds cancer. Cancer breeds cancer. Yes. Yes. I'm wrong. Hit me up. Hit me up. Because it is. Now, if we were in any other project, I would be on board with what you're saying, what you're doing, what you got going, because that's the way that system works. But in here, that's not the way this system works. And you're not taking the time to see why. So, we're in development. We're in development. So, we're not ready to launch to the public yet. But in this time, we're getting closer, and things are starting to happen. We're building value. Pi is built on value. Pi's initial is built on trust, which is different than anything else. Yes, it's using Stellar, and it's using the node protocol of Stellar. So, it's using a portion of Stellar. There is more to Pi than what you see for Stellar. There is more to Pi than what you are able to see on GitHub and wherever you're finding your information. There is more to Pi than what you're finding. Okay. You need to take that into account as well. Because, and by you coming in and saying it's this and this and this, you should be doing this and this and this. Okay. For that portion, yes, it should be. For the overall picture, no, it's not. Okay. And I'm going by what I read in the white paper. I'm going by what I read in the white paper. What Core has written in the white paper is what they're going to deliver on. That means there's going to be a mining mechanism. We already have the security circles and the trust graph and all that goes in, that was added to. Okay. How we're going to get paid in Pi every day for the rest of our lives will be in the protocol. Will be taken care of by the protocol. We will get our earned pi once a day. If we're active in the network, once a day we will get earned pi. It may just be a little bit, but once a day we will get earned pi. It's in the protocol. But you guys aren't reading. You're not seeing it. That's creating value. It's creating value. And because pi is looking to be the currency, the money used to buy goods and services, and there are economies started, granted they're unofficial, because of how things played out and how things came down when the in-app transfer pilot started. Okay? There's a reason why they're unofficial, but to say that they're not happening, no matter what you think or what you believe or doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's opinion. It's your opinion. Keep it to yourself. Because the fact of the matter is, these economies are making transactions. Now, I'm not saying that all of them that are started are on the up and up. There's a couple of them that I think are pretty shady. And they're not the ones you're thinking of. They're not the ones you're thinking of. There's one on somebody on Amazon that's using half cash and half pi and whatever to make deals on Amazon. I don't know whether that's on the up and up. I really don't. And anybody involved in it, it's coin flip whether you're going to be here. If it clears and everything's cool, then you're fine. But if it had, when you put cash and pi in the same sentence, yeah, you're skirting a real fine line. Real fine line. So I don't know. And there are economies out there and there are futures markets out there, and whatever, that have the availabilities of trading pi. But I don't know whether they're on the up and up, and I wouldn't trust them. There's only like 3 of them that I would trust. Maybe 4 that I would trust at this point in time. But we can't talk about them in chat because they're artificial. But they are started. So, even with what... They got stunted when the in-app transfer couldn't scale with pi. Those economies got stunted. I mean, they are what... They got to a point. They're still making deals and they're making transactions. And they're still growing a little bit. But they have no place to go. They stagnated. They couldn't scale with pi. But they are starting. And pi does have value. Value. Not price. Value. And there is a difference between value and price. And so, I mean, that started around December of 2019. And it's been going since December of 2019. I don't know of any other project that has an economy, that had an economy started while it was still developing. This was all happening while it was still developing. And it's still going on, and we're still developing. Let me know any other project that has been able to buy goods and services. I mean, goods and services. Tangible goods and services. Not bubblegum balls and not this, that. No, they've been able to buy tangible goods. Yes. Since December of 2019. That's value right there. No other project has done that. None that I know of. No. Everything came after. After it started trading on the exchanges. After it started moving on the exchanges. It all came after that, after they've been live. Pi's not live yet. We're still in development. And with what's going on and I understand why people come in and think Pi's ready to trade. Pi's ready to go to the exchange. Pi's ready to... One, they're going by what they're seeing. They're going by what they've heard. They're going by what they think they know. And they haven't taken the time, like everybody else, they haven't taken the time to learn Pi. And what Pi is. What Pi's goal is. Where it is. I mean, I bet you if you went into the community today and hit any newcomer in there, any newbie coming in, and ask them where Pi's at, they don't know. They don't know. They don't know how close we are to phase 3. They don't know that we are still in development. They don't know that we are part of value creation. All they're worried about is selling what Pi they have. They don't even know the exchanges. Anybody that knows crypto trading, knows the exchanges, knows whatever, and you speculated what the price of Pi will be when it launches, what that price will be. Yeah. Any new person coming into Pi that wants to sell their Pi, wants to trade their Pi, wants to do something with their Pi, you don't have enough Pi to do anything with. Not at exchange price, You can't use it. You can't. There's nothing you can do with it. But that is the biggest question that most people ask first coming in. What's price pi? How can I withdraw it? How can I sell? How can I sell it? How can I? Okay, that's the first thing coming in. They may have one or two pi, maybe. Okay, but that's the mentality coming in, and because they're not seeing what pi is, they're not listening to what people are telling them that pi is. They're just disappointed because they can't do anything with it, which is it's kind of a catch-22. It's kind of a catch-22 because they don't know. They don't know. The issue is they don't take the time to know. They just come in and want to be spoon-fed. That's the issue. No, very few people do their own research, do their own homework, do their own thing to figure out what they're involved in. They don't do any research to find out what they're involved in. Yeah. I mean, and because of where we're at, and because of what Pi is trying to accomplish, what Pi is trying to do, okay, the ones that know Pi and have been trying to explain Pi, teach Pi, help people understand Pi, we're all brainwashed and we're in a cult. Okay. I don't mind being in this cult. I really don't. If that's what it's going to be, and I don't mind being brainwashed to what I got going on. But I've done my own homework, just like a lot of other people. I've done my own homework, and I know where we're at. I know where Pi's at in development. I know where the end of the tunnel is. I know what is supposed to happen. Okay. Because everybody's. We got to get a price from the exchange, and then that's the value. No, it's the other way. Because if you're doing price from the exchange and then trying to set value, you got the tail wagging the dog. Yeah, because value sets price. Okay, and I don't know of any other way to truly explain it except look at any other government currency. Look at any other government currency. Any state money, paper money, from any country around the world being used today, trading in the global market. Think about it. Think about just the country. Think about their economy. And I'm not talking about. I know you got gross domestic product and you got gross national product and you got. Okay, I'm not talking about how it is. I'm just talking about the economy. What if you get off the global scale, off the global market, and you bring it in-house into the country? Look at the economy. What is happening inside the country? People. How many ever millions of people are inside that country? Are using that currency daily to get what they need, what they want, to shop, to go to the store and buy whatever they. Usually it's needs first and then wants. And you get to some countries because there's so much money, they can just do whatever, they can get whatever they want to go. But for most everyday, average people living paycheck to paycheck, it's usually needs first and then wants if there's enough left over. 1 or 2%, in a 1 or 2% or 5% or 10%, that's a small number compared to the 85 or 90% of us. The 85 or 90% of us is what drives those economies. Yeah, I mean, you can see it. I know I can see it from the United States because we're on the inflation. It runs the inflation and deflation. When the feds are changing interest rates and how they go about changing them and whatever it is, if we're not moving the money, it goes deeper than that because of how they're set up. But if we're not moving the money, then the economy stalls, just like it is now. Nobody's working. People aren't buying stuff. People aren't because they don't have money. Okay, so there's no money. There's no business happening. The economy stalls. When times are good and whatever it is, and we got people have extra money in their pocket, they're buying stuff. They're moving. The economy is good because things are trading and moving. We're doing business. The value of that dollar. The value of that dollar will affect the stock exchange, but the stock exchange won't really affect the value of that dollar. I mean, if the stock market crashes, if it has a bad day, if the stock market has a bad day, it doesn't even have to crash. If it has a real bad day and it loses a lot of points, it means trading volume is down. Well, the dollar didn't bounce around all over the place because it changed. So looking at it from the economy, everybody's looking at it from trading. An economy and currency and economies don't run off of trading. Not off trading at the exchanges. They run off of moving the money around in the community. So, right there, that is Pi's goal. That is Core's goal. Well, it's totally different than any goal that any other has had. The goals are totally different. So, if the goals are different, then the means to get to those goals is going to be different than the means that it is to get to the exchange. It's different goals. Viewing Pi for Pi, not seeing Pi for the state. And that's what the biggest part of the issue is in Pi right now. Because most look at Pi trading on the exchanges. And all the stuff here, got a scarcity, and we got to stop mining, and we got to, pull coins out. We got to do this, we got to do that, no, because you don't know Pi. That's not Pi. And I know most people don't, because they don't know money. They don't know how money came about. They don't know how it works. They don't know what makes it work. And they won't take the time to learn because they already know. They know how to make it. They know how to trade on the exchange, and they know how to make it. But that's not the function of money, really. That isn't how money came about, why it came about, or whatever. That's not money. That's trading on the exchanges. So Pi's not, and then people are like, well, what's going to back it? What's going to support it? There's nothing supporting fake money. What's backing fake money? The government. What's that mean? What does that mean? That they can come in and take it any time they want, and it's coming close. It's backed by the government, and we're controlled by the government. And the government has ran the dollar into the toilet. It's been happening since the 70s. But over the last couple of years, over the last 6 months, the dollar has lost half of what it used to in that 6 months. Because it's devalued. They devalued it. They devalued it. Because it runs on a different system. But the more money, the more paper they're pumping into the economy to keep it going, to keep it moving, to keep it whatever, has actually devalued it, which makes it worse to keep the economy going. We need more paper to buy the same thing. Okay? Pi is looking to level the financial playing field for everybody inside the community. It's not talking about outside. It's for everybody that joins Pi community to be on a level field. To have a level distribution of Pi. So there's no concentration of wealth. There's no point of centralization of the currency. The way Core is written, the node portion of it, one person can only run one node. There's no hooking together, there's nothing. Which keeps the nodes totally decentralized. 100%. Which doesn't open up to 51 and all these other attacks that everybody's done. Okay. It isn't an inherent danger in Pi because of the design and the way it's written. All of that creates value. And whatever value is set by us. Value is set by us. It's set by what we believe, what we trust, what we're willing to accept, and what we're willing to use. That's what it is. That's at this point in time. And to worry about where or what or how or what. There's a community, as Pi. We'll support that value. We'll support that value. All we have to do is get it started. And I know I got off track and I may have kind of sidestepped or whatever. But if what I just talked about right now, if that wasn't enough to show you that Pi is different than what's out there, different goals, different avenues to get to those goals. Okay? Pi is not competing with any crypto that's out there. It's not looking to take over anybody's market. It's not looking to, because Pi is its own. Pi is looking to be a standalone currency. That's what is being built. Everything in the crypto market today is tied to the exchanges and is tied to whatever currency you're chasing. And most of it is the dollar. I mean, when you look at all of the exchange data and the information, whatever, everything is pegged in the dollar. Bitcoin is worth X amount of dollars. Ethereum is worth X amount of dollars. Yes, we live in that. That's how we live. And Pi will get that thing, but it doesn't need to. It really doesn't need to. Because the infrastructure in Pi, and I know, right now, it's starting out, there isn't a lot going on, there isn't a lot of places to do, and whatever it is. We are starting. If we get it moving, it won't take long to build places and locations to go. The problem is we can't use Pi to make it happen. Yes, until we can use Pi, yeah, we're going to be kind of stumbling and dragging our feet a little bit. But that's on the community. That's on the thinking of the community. It is. That's what the community has caused the situation that we're in. Yes. But anyway, that's different because that's mentality, and that's not owning up to their own stuff. I mean, everybody's quick to blame, but they won't take the responsibility for their own shit. Okay? So, and I know I'm kind of glossing over the top of the value because we can't see it, I know. And you can't get somebody to believe something that they can't see. And that's the sad part. Because they can't get out of the box. They can't see past. They can't see past today. They can't see past what they can gain today. They just can't see past it. And in Pi, to see Pi, you got to get out of your box. You got to get out of your box and you got to see the forest for the trees. Because all you're seeing is a tree. All you're seeing is a tree. And there's a lot bigger forest out there that Pi's bringing to the table. And the benefit and what Pi can accomplish reaching its goal, if it reaches its goal, if it reaches its goal, yeah. Now you have to find out your own benefit because I'm tired of, no. Bottom line, and when it comes to thinking about value, the value creation is already there. The foundation for the value is already there. All we have to do is accept it. All we have to do is believe it, accept it, use it, and trust it. I mean, that's the bottom line for setting Pi starting value right now. Well, to keep in mind, and I just had just before I started this video, I was talking to somebody, and what's going to make or break Pi is, and I know people they don't see it and I probably don't understand it, I comprehend it, whatever, is as Pi grows, as Pi keeps expanding, the base of Pi, the pioneer base, community base, gets bigger and wider. Because, like the 25 million, right, if you look at the halvings, the last halving was at 10 million. Well, we got 10 million in the community right now. We're at 25 million. That means there's 15 more million people here that were here before that came in after the halving. If we have the 10 million, you take 10 million off that 25, that's 15 more million people that have come in after the halving. That makes the people that have come in now the majority of the people in Pi. And the majority of the people in Pi have the least amount of Pi. And the last people that have joined today have the least amount of Pi. Have the least amount of Pi. And like when thinking about setting value, that's who you have to think about. You don't need to worry about up top. You need to worry about down below. Because if they can't use their Pi, if they can't use it, and we're talking 25 million people, can't use their Pi, or 15 million people can't use their Pi, 20 million, I'll go 20 million. 20 million people can't use their Pi, can't spend their Pi. They can't buy anything with their Pi, they can't trade it on the exchange, they can't do anything with it. We have no economy. We have no moving forward. If we don't have an economy, we have no moving forward. We have no more growth. The economy's not moving. If they're not, they have to want to use their Pi. That means they have to be able to use their Pi. That means the value of Pi has to be high enough that it doesn't wipe them out. If they can't use their Pi, the minute they hit the join button and they start earning or mining or whatever, if they can't use that one Pi, they won't use it. They don't want it. If they can't use it, they won't use it and they won't want to use it. For Pi to be a success, they have to want to use it and use it. That's how Pi value needs to be set to start with. Yes. So, I don't know. I mean, I hate to be an ass, but anybody that's looking exchange-wise or looking to go exchange direction or looking at Pi, that's what Pi has to do, you're off the mark and you're 180 degrees out. And I wish you'd stop. Yeah. I wish you'd just keep your opinions to yourself. Keep what you think you know to yourself about Pi. Okay? And listen. Open up and listen. Take the glasses off. Take the filters off. Take the blinders off. Take the whatever. And look at Pi for Pi. Don't look at Pi for the space. Because what people don't realize, most people don't realize, is if Pi goes in the direction of the exchanges, let's say it just makes it and goes in the direction of the exchanges. You know how much money you're losing, actually? You know how much income you're losing, actually? How much money you're taking out of your own pocket and giving it away, actually? You probably don't, because you don't understand. You don't understand the economy. You don't understand the economy. You don't understand money. If we as a community set Pi at $100 per Pi, buying power value, that's the buying power that we have in one Pi is $100, equivalent to $100. And the last people that came in can use their one Pi. They can go buy some things they need and not get wiped out and know they're going to have another Pi coming in tomorrow. They're going to recover what they spent. They're going to want to spend it. They're going to want to use it. That means for one Pi, I got $100. And I know everybody's going, well, they got more than I do, and they got all this share, and we're taken care of for life. We're taken care of for life. Okay? Don't worry about up there. Whales will take care of themselves. Anybody that has that will take care of itself. They'll take care of themselves. Because we get Pi for life. We get an income of Pi for life. Even though it's a little bit, but we get a little bit every day. That means I don't care what anybody else has got up there. I am set for my own deal. I can take care of my own needs through Pi. And to judge it on what is in here now and how people are going to recover and replenish and all, you got to get out of your house. You got to stop looking. You got to look at the forest. You got to look at the forest. Okay? If the economy gets going, as fast as Pi's growing, as big as Pi's got, it won't take long to have the goods and services in Pi. Just like, look at LA, look at San Francisco, look at any major metropolis, wherever you're close to. They have everything they need right there in that city. They don't have to go out of that city. It's all right there. Well, okay? And if you look at it on a global scale, well, we got to truck stuff in, we got to truck stuff in, okay? Japan does it every day. Japan has no natural resources of themselves. Everything that they get or have or whatever they do is shipped in. Is shipped in. They have no raw materials. None. To ship out on the open market. Everything they have comes in. To say, no, it's not, okay. Vegas, Las Vegas, everything that goes into that desert is shipped into that desert. And they got a full-blown deal going on out there. Full-blown. They don't want for nothing. And it's all brought in. So don't tell me it can't work. It does work. It works every day. If we make it work. So, we start Pi at $100. Trade buying power value. And people are using it. Wanting to use it. Being able to be supplied with what they need. And you put it on the exchange for 25 cents? Anybody that goes to the exchange and sells their Pi for 25 cents ought to. You know, just pack your shit and just keep on going. Because I don't know where you learn business. I don't know how old you are. But to give that up, yeah. And that's what people that know what they're doing, that's what crypto traders and everything else, that know what they're doing, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Trying to force Pi to the exchange. Because I know. Pi right now has buying power of $100. It has buying power of $25. It has buying power of $10. It has buying power of $100. Equivalent, $100 buying power. Yeah. And you're trying to force it to the exchange to take that away? At the outside, you get $1 on the exchange. You've just taken $99 out of your pocket and everybody else's pocket in the community. That is real smart business. That is really knowing what you got into. And that is like, yeah. You know? I mean, that's what's happening. That's what's happening in the world today. And we have no choice over about the world today. We have a choice over in here. Make the right choice, man. Yeah. Learn Pi. You need to learn Pi. If you learn Pi, I don't know how many videos I have talking about the same thing. Over and over. Just trying to come at it at different angles. To get you to wake up. To get you to think. Just to get you to think. Outside of your box. Because your box has gotten real narrow, real whatever. People don't realize how big Pi is. You know, and it hit me tonight when I was talking to somebody else about scarcity and all this other stuff. If you look at Pi and see Pi, for Pi, how big Pi should be, Pi supply is too small. Pi supply is too small to reach 7.5 billion people. It's too small. There's not enough Pi to reach 7.5 billion people. Well, if you can't reach 7.5 billion people, it's scarce. It's scarce. There's scarcity built into it. It's just not a level that you can think or see or what. Okay, because you're looking at a handful here. You're looking at a drop in the bucket here. Okay? Even if a project has 1 billion coins, it's a drop in the bucket to 7.5 billion. And like these projects that have these mass amounts of coins, they don't have an infrastructure to reach 7.5 billion people. We are already 25 million in 236 we have the capability to reach 7.5 billion people. We just won't have the point to do it. That's scarcity. It's automatically created. We don't have to take any coin away. We don't have to stop mining. We don't have to do a damn thing. Core has already taken care of it and written it into it. value, supporting value. Yeah, because you don't learn pi. You haven't learned pi. You don't, because you don't know what the benefit. You don't know what the big benefit of pi is, the long-term benefit of pi, because you won't take the time to learn it. You won't take the time to learn it, and you won't take the time to listen to anybody else. Okay, so I don't. Right now, I don't know. I don't know what core, what rabbit core's gonna pull out of their hat. I really don't. I hope they pull something out of the hat. Because talking to people more and more, there are more and more people that understand pi. There are more and more people that are on board. They may not be on board with the value because they don't understand it yet, but they're on board with the direction of pi, the goal of pi. They see the immensity of pi. But we're still in the minority. The majority still holds the cards. And if the majority gets their way and makes pi do what they think it should do, where it's supposed to go, okay. He's done it twice. You have done it twice to 2 projects. You have killed 2 projects and you've stunted their growth. You've turned them into midgets. Yeah. You've stunted them, man. Because the way pi is designed, the way it's built, the amount of pi there is, how it's distributed, and all sorts, you will never get a price high enough on pi to do anything with, and you will never get pi volatile enough to make money off of it. Yeah, pi flatline, guaranteed. Pi's not designed like what's on the market today. Pi's not going into cardiac arrest all the time or having a stroke or whatever. No, it's not doing it on a daily basis. It's going to kind of float along, man. It's going to flatline. It's going to flatline, but it's going to flatline on the up. On the up. Yeah. So, what you're thinking and how you're thinking doesn't apply to pi. Doesn't apply to pi. Because pi is not built the way anything else is built. It's not designed the way anything else is designed. It's not the goal. The goal is different on pi of anything else that's out there. You need to learn pi. You need to get out of your box. You need to see. Come on, smell some fresh air and get some sunshine, man. It's okay out here. We don't buy it. It's okay. Come outside. Look at the whole thing, man. Look at the whole thing. You have to look at pi as a package, the whole package. But until you're ready to take the glasses off, until you're ready to open your ears, until you're ready to take the filters off, you're gonna be where you're at. Hopefully we survive. I'm out.